Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, Sid.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, man. Happy New Year to you. We got a lot going on.
A whole lot. A lot
going on,
How
man.
was your New Year so far, though? How was your New Year, Sid?
Been pretty good, man. You know, last couple of days, looking at, what's that, Mr. Ivan Bates.
Yeah.
Talk about he ain't playing with these jokers and they out here stealing these cars. And
Gotta get them.
And he said he ain't playing with them, so let's see how much that works.
Yeah, well, everybody talk. Like I say, he's. I think he's doing a good job.
I think so.
We just got to back up everything we're doing because change. It got to be changed.
Yeah,
it got to happen.
It's got to happen.
Because it's. I mean, I heard yesterday that it was cars stolen while people was at church. Like that, it's too much. It's too much. So it's been an interesting year, man.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get it started, man.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Cat Williams. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts about it?
Well, my thoughts is, us as black men, man, we talk about each other, man, and I understand the truth need to be told, I guess, sometime. I don't know, but it's just, a microcosm of us as black men, man. We just want to talk about each other, but you got competitive white comedians that they don't talk about.
They don't
each
do
other.
that. No. I mean, it is crazy. That's even in the sports world. There's a lot of stuff that we do tear each other down,
Yeah, man, it's bad.
I mean, some things I guess he felt he needed to be said, but I'm going to tell you what really struck me is how many people that man helped out. A lot of comedians and different people who said that man came and put money in their hand. And the crazy part is he didn't even say, like, he wasn't even telling people. He was just doing it, and then later on, people would find out that was him. So, that was my biggest takeaway. Like, other than all that stuff, that was my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, because I heard the story with when Boosie, the rapper, and when he first came home, how he gave him some money.
Gave him some money.
I was like, wow.
And didn't say a word. I mean, like a lot of people who do stuff always want to be seen.
Right.
Look what I did. They taking the pictures of themselves as they give it.
Yeah.
Nah, they said a lot of comedians would say. Folks would tell him afterwards, he like a lady just came up to him and gave me some money. Yeah. And they were like, he said later on, they would be like, yo, Cat Williams was in the audience.
Yeah,
that's
dude, man.
That's major.
Yeah,
that's major.
A great dude.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the last couple college playoffs.
What we need to talk about? You see what it is,
man.
You see what it is.
I mean,
country folks say, you see what it is.
Something you talked about earlier was the center from Alabama.
Right.
Talk about that, Sid.
Well, he had a couple bad snaps, man, and so they kind of say that was the turning point in the game. But I beg to differ, man. Yeah. It was many opportunities that failed them, and could have failed Michigan for that matter. But I think that he was getting death threats, man, and because of the bad snaps and. He later transferred.
He did transfer.
Entered the transfer portal, and his social media, whatever, went. He put it on secret or whatever, private, and he didn't want nobody. It was just bad, man. And just go to show, like I had a real long talk with my son in reference to playing the center position and getting beat. And I tell people all the time, they look at offensive linemen like tires. They never recognize them until they flat.
Yeah, they flat.
And then when they flat, everybody notice them.
Yeah,
so he was one of the ones that was flat that day.
Yeah. Like, like I say, you probably would have never heard his name without them bad snaps, And then, like I say, you talking about death threats. That's a lot.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. It's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but, hey, man, let's get the show cranking.
Let's go.
We got my man Lem side of the field. We got Derek Tony.
Hey, who else we got?
We got Chloe up in here.
We got my baby up in here, we got a good show coming up. You know, we got Chloe Jones, Syracuse University, number 5 in the country. We're going to talk about, her sport and, how she came through the sport. Not a whole bunch of blacks in the sport, but how can we grow it? Lem gonna come on here and just talk about sports writers. Sports writing and how sometimes what you write don't really make it to the papers.
Ooh.
You know, that's major. You know, then we got Derek Tony, another awesome writer who will come over here. He can talk about men's health.
Yep.
You know, something we don't talk about a lot.
Right.
We avoid it, you know.
Yeah, we so stubborn.
This is an action pack.
Yeah.
Action pack.
Yeah,
you know,
let's get it cracking,
I'm excited. I'm excited. Hey, if you ain't doing nothing, we in Moe's Seafood. Come on down. Food good drinks, having a good time right on Pulaski Highway.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Moe's on Pulaski Highway. Also, Brainstream Media, Tone Drone. So hey, we be right back at you after the short break. Let's go.
Let's go.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
We back.
You on? Yeah. Yeah, we back. Meet us in the trenches, baby.
Testing. It's green. Yeah. Go ahead. Hey, we back. Hey, we're excited. I'm excited about this next person. For those who don't know.
You should be.
I should be.
That's right.
This is my baby.
Y'all favorite.
This is my
Same
baby.
nose.
You know, we have Chloe Jones, number 5. She plays for the. Oh, okay. We got the crowd in the back. Got the crowd of fans in the back.
Chloe Jones.
Syracuse University, number 5. The number 5 team in the country. Chloe, welcome to our show.
Welcome.
Hi.
Some people
Thank
say
you
you
for
look just
having
like
me.
me. Some people say you look like me. Chloe, let's get this started. Chloe, tell us why lacrosse.
So, originally, before I started playing lacrosse, my brother played lacrosse. And he did lacrosse, football, and wrestling. And lacrosse was like his strong suit. Like, I used to go to his games, watch him run past everybody, scoring all these goals. He was a lefty, so he played near the goal, and I loved watching him play. And then once I started playing, I was like, I kind of like it. So after that, I just continued, and once he stops, he always talks about how he handed the torch to me, and from there we like have something to connect with, so now I can hand the torch to my little sisters. So yeah, that was like my main reason. And then once I realized that like I could stood out in a way that no one else stood out, I kind of used it to my advantage, because now like people need me, you know? So
I like
yeah.
that. I like that. Yeah.
I want to. So once you got into the sport, right? because I seen some workout videos in the garage that was like big time. So did your dad, did he have to make you? Did he force you? Or was like, this is what I wanted to do, and Dad just assisted me?
It was kind of a mixture of both. I told him that I wanted to do it, and then from there he was like, okay, if you want to do this, then this is what it takes.
That's right.
So from there, that's when I was like, all right. I mean, sometimes I complained, and sometimes I really didn't want to do it, but at the end of the day, I knew I needed to do it.
Right.
And he made sure I got it done, so yeah, it was like a mixture of
Nice.
both.
I'm telling you one thing about her is she already had a drive. You know, like she wanted it. You know, like she may complain, but she always got it done. You know, like I say, it was a difficult, not difficult role, but we knew what it took. You know, one thing coming from my athletic background, and even though I never played lacrosse, I knew how to train, I knew how to get people in shape, and we pushed. You know, and she got it done. You know, we was excited. So tell me early in career. Tell me about like your rec, your club. Tell me how was that?
I think it was nice. Being younger, I feel like it's always frustrating when you first start a sport, and then it's more frustrating when you're starting a sport and no one really looks like you. So it took a lot of adjusting. And from there, I think the younger days is where I really had the most fun. Like right now, it's still fun, but I felt like that's when I really just developed the foundation of love that I have for the sport. Because I just loved playing, and I loved running around and scooping the ball and just playing defense. Like it also kind of reminds me of my little sisters now. Just like playing and running around, not really knowing what I'm doing. So I feel like my younger times playing is when I really just grew the love, and then from there I was able to use that.
It was fun then. I remember early on watching you play. It was just you didn't really know the sport, but you played. You went balls to the wall and everything. Everything was 100 miles an hour, you know. And we talk about that now. Of sometimes I wish you go back to like every ground ball when you were younger. You thought was your ball, no matter where it was, you know. And you flew across the field, you know. Let's talk about as you grew in the sport and you started traveling, how was it going to some of these tournaments and not seeing a lot of people that look like you?
It made it more like, it made it feel more like business, if I'm being honest, because like not as, and I had something to prove, but everyone's going to be watching you. So, because you're the only one on the field. So people are going to have their eyes on you. So it made it feel like, all right, now I'm competing not only with the other team, but I got to prove myself, like playing alongside white girls who don't really have, like, they already have those expectations. Like people already know how they play.
Right.
So now I feel like I have to show that I can be playing on this team, and I can be the best on this team, and I can
running right by
run past, I can run past people, and you know.
I
running
remember,
right by 'em.
I remember going to some tournaments, and we would show up, and really, like, it would be, we might be the only two out of a lot, you know, and people will always give me these different looks, like, what are y'all doing here? You know, I wouldn't say anything, you know, just sit back, you know, get my little phone out, start recording. And when she picked the ball up and she flew by everybody, everything changed. They would look back at me like, wow, like, yo, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because we can play this sport, you know. And I always admired her courage, you know, because I never went through that. I played football. I was always around a lot of my friends and things like that who I've known. I played basketball. I played baseball. Like, she had to grow into something that was just all new, you know, and she always handled it with so much class and grace, you know, and I was always excited about that.
Thanks, Dad.
So how do you think a sport like this opens doors for how can a sport like this open doors for other little girls who look just like you?
Well, first I feel like it helps when you see someone who's been through it. So I think it helps when little girls see me, or when I'm training other young black girls and they're able to come to me and ask me for advice, or even just like, because I know growing up, like I sometimes wish that I had, like, my brother played lacrosse, but once he stopped, like I wish I had someone I could look up to in a way, and I could go to and ask them for advice because they were in it at the time.
Right.
So it's always different when you're in it and you have someone that you can go to because they're in it with you. So it's almost like now that I have came so far in my career, I feel like it helps that I can give young black girls something to look at. Like the same thing for my sisters. It just gives them, you know, that little bit of hope that you need when you're going through it.
Yeah, I remember, like I say, even different things that you were posting back then, and young girls would comment and be excited about seeing you. You know, that was awesome. Tell me about your high school years. Tell me about a day in the life of Chloe Jones back in high school.
That was a blur. That went by so fast.
So I went to school an hour away from where I lived. So I had to get up about 5:45 in the morning every day. And then I was out of the house by like 6:15, 6:30. And I'm getting on a bus to go to school. And then on the bus ride, usually I would sleep. And then I go to school. I have classes from like 8 to 3.
What school?
So I went to Ursuline Academy.
Okay.
It was an all-girls private school in
Okay.
Delaware. And so during season, I would have practice right after school. So practice would be like from 4 to 6, around that time. I get home at 7, and then I had a lot of work because, you know, it's a private school and they're trying to prepare you for college. So I had a real good amount of work, and then I would probably finish my work by like 10, shower, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing again. So I feel like it was hard when you're in it, definitely like being so young and wanting to just not do anything a lot of the times. But now that I'm in college and I'm basically having the same schedule, I'm very grateful for going through it and not having the first time that I had to, you know, have that mental discipline be in college. So, yeah.
Yep. Hey, so tell me, is there a certain day that sticks out? Tell me about September 1st, 2020, when that clock struck midnight.
Uh-oh.
So September 1st was a special day for me. Basically, the process for committing is on September 1st is the end of the dead period. So after September 1st, or on September 1st, schools can reach out to you. And that whole summer, so this is my junior year? Going into my junior year. So that whole summer after my sophomore year, I was camps, lacrosse, like pushing it. Like, I want to go to the school I want to go to. I want to have schools calling my phone. Like, so that whole summer I was grinding. So when September 1st came around, I was really nervous. And
yes, I remember the day before you asked me, you said, Dad, do you think anybody's going to call?
Yeah.
Well, so what happened when that clock struck midnight?
So once it struck, I'm getting in bed, and I'm like, okay, they're probably not going to call at 12 o'clock. So I'm like, I'll wake up in the morning, and I'll see the calls. I'm getting in bed, and I'm getting emails. Clock strikes 12, I'm getting emails, voicemails, phone calls, videos. Like, it was honestly surreal. And I just remember...
Wait a minute. At 12?
Yes,
at midnight.
Like, once it struck... And I wasn't expecting it at all. And I just remember, like, I'm, like, running to my mom and dad's room. I'm like, look. And then I come back in my room, and my mom's jumping on my bed. And it was just like a surreal moment. And I just felt so blessed. And I was just so thankful for... And I just was so happy that I worked so hard. And I felt like all my hard work was finally meaning something.
Yeah. Man. So we're looking at number 5 team in the country.
So what keeps you, one more question, so what keeps you motivated to keep going on? What keeps that drive?
So I feel like lately that's something that I've been really trying to focus on. Because once you do something for a long time, I feel like it's so easy to fall out of the motivation for it.
Yep.
So I've been doing like a lot of just like personal growth stuff. Like, what can I do to be a better athlete?
Yep.
And now I feel like that motivates me so much because there's so many people I feel like who are going through the motions a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I always strive to not ever be one of those people. So I always just focus on whatever I can do to become that better athlete and push myself. Because I know that once you think you've reached your limit, like, is when you're done. So I know that I have not reached my limit yet, and that's what encourages me to keep going.
I love it. I love
Nice,
it. I
nice,
love it.
nice.
Number 5 team in the country. Tell me what's your thoughts about this upcoming season? How you feel about it?
I'm excited. I think my team especially, we're ready to get back after it. And especially with the way the season ended last year, we had a great season, but we know that there's so much more for us to do. And we have one main goal, and we want to take that trophy home. So I think that's what we're looking forward to, just balling out and having a good time, making memories, and winning.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, one thing about Maryland is, let's just go back to real quick. About Maryland, that's the hotbed for lacrosse, you know.
Yeah.
I remember when we came to the Maryland tournaments, how, like, you kind of had another edge to yourself, or you felt, what was you thinking when you came and you played against some of these Maryland teams, like even in the club level?
I don't know. I feel like I never took it as just like, oh, these are Maryland teams. I just took it as like the competition is better. So it's not going to be a walk in the park. Like, I just have to really focus, be locked in, and really apply myself in the best way I can. So I didn't really look at it as like I wasn't scared or
Well,
like.
we know you wasn't scared.
Yeah,
you
I
my
was
daughter.
just.
We don't do no fear.
I was just like, the competition's going to be better, more opportunities, so let's go.
I love
Ooh,
it.
okay.
I love it. I love it. Anything you want to leave off with? Anything you want to talk about? If there's a young girl out there that maybe don't know about lacrosse, tell me, how would you motivate them? What would you say to a young girl that this would be a good path for them to try?
I would say don't be afraid of being uncomfortable, because especially in this sport, starting out, you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to feel frustrated, but I think that's what makes it so special, because it's not like, it's a very different experience than a lot of other sports. So I would say be okay with being uncomfortable and don't take what people are going to give you. And if someone says that, oh, like, your athleticism is your strong suit, no, like, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I can run, I can catch, I can do whatever. Like, don't let people limit you, and don't be afraid to be uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, it'll come back to you, and you'll be so grateful for the hard decisions you made. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Chloe, we are thankful for you coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Uncle Sam been waiting to see you. Uncle Sam
Yes,
been
sir.
waiting to see you. Coming up next, we have the great Lim Satterfield, the mind behind a lot of sports in Baltimore City. After that, we have Mr. Derek Toney, another great one. We have two of the best top sports writers to ever be in this area.
Absolutely.
They've been following and pushing in these sports for so long, a plethora of knowledge. So we're excited. We're very excited. We got a shout out to our sponsors. We have Moe's Seafood. Mosey Moe's. We got Brainstream Media.
Brainstream.
And Tone Drone. We'll be right back at you. Thank you again, Chloe Jones. And you look like your dad.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group. Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
We back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hey,
Meet us in the trenches, baby.
we got somebody special up here. Hey, one of my, first of all, this is like my brother, you know, and it's one of the great ones, you know. Coming from, met Lim Satterfield as a young player, you know, and then to go into coaching and become a good friend, you know. The great Mr. Lim Satterfield. Welcome, my brother. Welcome, welcome. You know, Lim, tell us about how did you get into writing?
Well, let me tell you, I don't know, y'all missed what we just witnessed. I was listening to your daughter talk. That's a tough act to follow. The clarity with which she explained what I kind of witnessed as a writer when it comes to straight up African American athletes and the manner in which she handled that. I mean, it only comes from the best.
Yes.
The guy that's sitting right next to me. But so how did I get in writing? I was in high school. I'm the 12th born of 13 kids, and pretty much everywhere I went, I was a known quantity, you know. So I had a lot of stories to tell about the way I grew up. And my senior year, actually my sophomore year in high school, I wrestled because nobody else wrestled in my family. And one of the things that struck me is we sucked. so we didn't have any fans coming to the matches, but we had a history. We had a legacy of greatness.
Wow.
At our school. So I started researching how our program got to where it was.
Okay.
So I talked to some of the people who had graduated. Let me get rid of this napkin. And so that's kind of where I started. Investigative, you know, kind of wanting to know how things tick. Not being afraid to ask, like, the dumb question.
The dumb question, tough question.
But yeah, so that's kind of how it started. And then from there, you know, I just, you know, kept doing it.
Hey, I can say I've witnessed and been a part of a lot of your great stories, you know. But also, as I grew, I learned more and more about your craft and learned some of the things that you went through as a writer, you know? Because I've been on the side where people were like, that's not what I said, or the story was different. It didn't come across like, and you would take a lot of the heat for things that wasn't your doing. So, tell us about that.
All right. It's interesting you said that because I looked up a story that I wrote about Pete Pompey. And I was trying to, it was a difficult time for him at the time. And I was trying to get him to tell his story. And when I finished, it was a good story, but when it got in the paper, they brought up a whole bunch of stuff in the past. And I just looked it up last night, and somebody had written an op-ed, a letter to the editor, ripping me, you know? And Derek will be coming up. We can tell you it was a battle, and I'll tell you, it's a great segue. I would come back to the office frustrated, and Kevin Van Valkenburg sat next to me. And Kevin Van Valkenburg, I need to describe him. He's a Caucasian man from Montana. But what really struck me was he would listen, and I judged him. You know, I didn't feel like I was comfortable talking to him. So one year he comes to me and he says, look, you know, because it was at a time when the schools in the city were getting a bad rap, you know. And he wanted to, and I had already done my previews for the season, and y'all had, I think it was your second year.
My second year, yep.
And y'all had a lot of people coming back. And y'all had some portions of your season where y'all started to make some inroads. And I remember talking to you, had all these guys, Sterling Jones, Kyle Jackson, Tariq Jones, your nephew, Deontay Cox. And Kevin said, we need to find a team that we can follow. Is there any team whose administration is working with their athletic department to help these kids succeed? And I said, well, you know, we can go with Baltimore City or Poly. No. I don't want those guys.
Right.
I want somebody else. And I said, well, Dante Jones, you know, he played for Dunbar. He was on the state championship team. He was on the state championship basketball team. You know, he was tutored by, you know, Coach Pompey. He has his program. It's in his second year. I know they have an administration that's working together with their athletes. And I think y'all had somebody from the NFL.
Joyce Jenkins was our mentor, and she ran our study hall.
Yeah, and I said, I can see if he'll let me do it. And I said, but the thing is, man, you know, we were going through some changes at the Sun at the time. Sam was no longer the editor.
Okay.
And so I was like, man, they're not going to let us do.
Be real.
And he said, well, they're going to, because I'm not going to the sports editor with this. I'm going over his head. And if they don't write the story, I'm going to put the story online.
Wow.
So that's how that happened. The thing that happened, though, that was concerning is you let us all the way in. You know, we came, we were with the kids from morning till night, and then y'all lost that first game to TJ's team, City. And I was like, and y'all made some mistakes. And I think it was like 30 points they scored on y'all.
No, it was close.
It was close?
It was
Okay.
18-6. 18-6.
Yeah, but y'all lost. And I was like, what's going to happen now? And you let us continue the season. Y'all ran the table, right? We were telling stories. Y'all were so open with us. And fast forward to, y'all won the state tournament. That year, if you remember, right? 4 teams that won the states were all coached by black coaches.
Awesome.
Yep. And the Super Bowl
was coached by
the Colts and Lovie Smith.
Yep.
So 2 black coaches. And it just, God, those things, to this day, what you guys are doing, what you do, I was telling somebody about a story that you helped me with recently. I can call you and you give me really sound suggestions, concrete. You help people. And the 4 guys that we featured at different times in that season, they're all doing great things. They're helping out. Kyle Jackson is coaching at Bowie. Sterling Jones is of service.
Yep, he coached with me.
Deontay Cox is a counselor, substance use counselor, and Tariq used to be Tariq Jones. Tariq Toure, he was featured. His character was featured in that the offshoot of The Wire.
Yes.
We Own This City.
Yep.
So I mean, this is stuff that you implant in people. I'm just along for the ride.
Listen.
I really am.
Well, like I say, we were excited, and everything happens for a reason. You know, some things are ordained. You know, when God said that let this happen, you let it happen. Like, I didn't know where it was gonna go. I was frustrated after that loss, but it wasn't time to close the door. You know, because if we closed the door, we never would have gotten all this that we got.
Yeah, and one thing you emphasized with me that stuck with me was, and I forget the kid's name, number 7.
Daryl,
right. So there was a young man that passed away as a result of some things that, you know, he was involved in. And I remember how you kept emphasizing that your commitment to these kids is so that they don't do what he did.
go down that road.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So how do you feel about the young black journalists today, or some of the beat writers today? How do you feel about them?
Well, I'm not gonna speak as if I can speak for them, but I will say this. Y'all referenced something earlier about black men tearing each other down. I was taught at an early age, I was told at an early age, never disagree with a black man in public.
In public. Yep, I've heard that.
And my father was a Tuskegee Airman, you know, like I said, and you know, he said, when you walk out the door, you see somebody, you look them in the eyes, and you say hi to them, especially if they're a black man, and if they don't say hi, you know they got something going on, right? So don't judge them. And so when I try to see the trauma in what somebody's saying, like if somebody says F you to me, that may be their best way of setting boundaries. I have trauma, right? I have a brother who was tased to death by the Montgomery County Police. And when I see, you know, the George Floyds, the Mike Browns, and, you know, all those people, you know, getting killed, that's trauma to me. So I understand, I try to stay in touch with that when I'm doing these stories, and I try to go back to the office, Derek can attest to this, and fight for it. You know,
Did a good job.
I'm accountable. My name's on the story.
That's a good
You
job.
know? So
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you did.
You
You
did.
did. Like
You
I
did.
say,
Very
hey,
articulate.
Lim, we are excited. We thank you for coming out. I mean, you are one of the good ones, you know. Hey, anybody looking to call in with any questions, please call in. Phone number 240-681-9328. Call in, ask your questions, you know. Next up, we have the Mr. Derek Tony coming in. He's going to talk about some men's health. You know, some things that we don't do a good job of. So he's going to come in and speak to us. So, Len, we thank you for coming out. And blessings. We'll be right back at you for Mo's Seafood.
Mo's Seafood.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divide through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We back again. We back with another one of the great writers, great friend, great brother.
DT.
Derek Tony. Derek Tony has been around. On top of that, Derek Tony is also a Carver grad. Let me put that out there. And we have a Carver principal in the house tonight, Miss Somerville.
All right.
You know, so that's what we doing. Hey, Derek, we here to talk about some men's health.
Absolutely.
And we all know that, well, Sam, I'm going to let you lead this one because, you know, we went through a little bit.
Yeah, man, I kind of suffered through some kidney stones, man. And I didn't know what it was. And guess what? I was ignoring it until the pain hit me to where as though, like, I couldn't ignore it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That joke kicked my butt. But, you know, us as black men, especially, man, we try to ignore when we get symptoms and we don't want to go to the doctors, man. Tell me what you think about that.
Yeah, I had a heart attack back in late July, and for days leading up, I thought I had a pulled muscle in my chest, and I just kept working through it, thinking, I'll just take some pain pills and it'll go away.
Yeah.
The last Saturday in July, I covered the All-America lacrosse game at Johns Hopkins.
Okay.
So I'm walking back to my car, and I threw my notepad and my lanyard into the passenger seat, and then I realized, oh man, I left I didn't have my media badge.
Okay.
For Varsity Sports Network. And then I started walking. I was like, oh, I got to get it. So I started walking back towards Homewood Field and felt like I had to throw up. And like I said, the pain was radiating in my chest. And again, I'm thinking it's a pulled muscle. I need to, take some Advil when I get home. Let me tell you, that walk from the parking lot that's adjacent to Homewood Field, I forgot what the name of it, probably about 50 yards, it was the worst experience I had in my life. So I get into the stadium and I didn't see the badge. I just went upstairs to the press box. Now, remember, the press box, now the steps at Homewood Field, they're not like little simple steps.
Yeah.
You got to
get up. You got to get your knees up.
You got to get up. You got to get up.
Right.
And I finally got to the top. I'm sweating. I feel like I'm just feeling terrible. So I go into the press box, which is air conditioned, sat down for about 10, 15 minutes, just drank like a couple bottles of water, and the quote unquote discomfort went away. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So I went back down onto the field. I happened to look over, and I saw someone had grabbed my badge and put it right on, the scorer's table for the game. So I slowly went back to my car. I called my wife saying, hey, you want something? And she was like, yeah, go to Royal Farms right there on 31st and Falls
Right.
Road. In and out, go home, went to sleep. 4 a.m. that morning, I wake up and the quote unquote discomfort's back.
Okay.
This time I'm like, you know what? I tapped my wife and I was like, hey, we have those muscle relaxers. Again, this is crazy.
We're gonna find a way.
This is crazy.
To avoid it. Yeah.
All right, this is crazy. So my wife is like, okay, well, it's on top of the refrigerator. So I go downstairs, go into our kitchen, get the muscle relaxer again, pop a couple of Relieve in.
We're gonna make
it. I'm still in literally cannot do anything except move. I'm walking around. I'm doing stretches.
Trying
doing
to
all this
loosen it up.
I cannot lay down.
Okay.
I'm almost so much discomfort and pain. So I do that for an hour. Then I get our dog, the family dog, take her probably about a block down the street and block back. Feels a little better, but not good enough. You know what I mean? Then I run a tub full of warm water. I sit in there for like 30 minutes. I'm splashing myself. Just
Trying to
doing
figure it out.
I'm trying to figure it out. And then I got out of the bathtub, and then I was like, what the hell am I doing? I need to go to a medical facility because this isn't
It's different.
This isn't right. And again,
Yeah.
this is being stubborn, not paying attention to
Being us.
the warning signs.
So what's the phobia? What's the phobia with black men and
We
the
do
guy?
have it.
I think when you look at the history of America and some of the things that unfortunately happened to us, 50, 70, 80, years ago,
Right.
especially in the medical field. You think of Henrietta Lacks. You think of things like that. I just think it's almost been ingrained in us not to, go to the doctor.
I mean, a lot of things they did to us growing up, with testing different things on us. We were guinea pigs for a lot of different things. And I think another thing that what we do is we think that we grew up to think that we got to be tough. Like you got to be tough, so we got to deal with it. So, as you growing up, what happens in sport? Something happened, what they tell us, walk it off.
Walk it off.
So what you was trying to do? You were trying to walk it off. You was trying to walk it
stretch
off.
it out, and
Everything, that's what we're taught. And I think that's another part of the reason why we don't do some of the things that we need to do right away.
Right. And we got to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to our bodies, and I didn't do that. And actually, I was having chest pains. This was July. I had an episode all the way back in April, the morning of my wife's cousin's funeral.
Wow.
My dad
So this
passed
going on
away
for a
in
while.
20, and I have a big picture of him on our living room wall. When I went through that experience back in April, I swear to God, I looked at him and I was like, Dad, are you trying to tell me something?
That might have been his message.
But I went back went into the kitchen, took a couple of leaves, laid down for a minute, and then went on about my life. I went on about my life.
That's what we do.
That's
what we do.
And like I said, this whole experience has taught me so much. Taught me once to take my health seriously.
Real serious.
I take it very, very seriously now, and I have talking to TJ, and I was like, and I've told everybody, I told you, man, if something doesn't seem right,
Get checked.
get checked.
Get checked.
Get checked.
You know what?
That's important.
Hey, I went to Patients First right on Route 40 in Catonsville. We have health insurance. You don't have to have health insurance.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go. Man.
So,
It's important.
yeah, we gotta take care of ourselves. We have to, we have to listen to that inner voice and stop shutting it off.
Yeah.
We got
We
to
gotta stop shutting it off. So
We
I've
gotta-
been, like I
we
said,
gotta be.
I'm blessed to be here because believe it or not, I was gonna go to my aunt's house. My aunt passed away in November. So me and my brothers, we've been kind of just trying to slowly rehab the house. I was just gonna go over there and do some work, and my
Well, thank God
cardiologist
you
said,
did.
"Hey, listen,
Thank
if
God
you had went
did.
over there
That might have been it.
and trying to do whatever and not listening and trying to be He-Man or whatever, I wouldn't be here.
Well, I thank
Would
God
not
that
be
you
here.
didn't. I thank God that you didn't. And
Yep.
it's important. Like
Listen to your body. Listen to your body.
Yeah.
Man,
And take ownership. You got to take ownership of your health.
Got to. Got to. We thank you for coming on and dropping these jewels because it's important. Sometimes when you go do different things, it's we can hear it better when somebody's went through something. Yeah. And we thank you for coming on and talking about this.
Thanks for having
He'll
me.
be back.
We're
He'll be
gonna-
back. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, say it.
Well, we coming back with Derek.
Oh, yeah, we
and-
gotta
and
talk some
Lim.
sports
Talk some
now.
sports.
We gotta talk
Yeah,
some
we gotta talk some
sports.
sports.
Talk about some Michigan-Washington, maybe.
Yeah.
Michigan.
It's on
Game is
now,
on
man.
right
Who
now.
is that?
Hey, if you want to call in, dial 240-681-9328. If you got any questions for Miss Chloe or Lim or Derek, call in and pound away and any questions that you may have.
We be right back in 30 seconds.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
We back.
We back. We back.
Hey, we can't have these two great men on here and not getting into some sports.
Yes,
So,
man.
yeah, we're going to
My
talk.
guys
about
just scored.
we ain't talking about Michigan. We ain't talking about. Hey, let's talk about some high school sports a little bit before
Yeah,
we
let's
get
get
to
in.
Michigan.
Let's get in.
We can start with you, Derek. Tell me about high school basketball. What's your thoughts on the local high school basketball scene?
Well, actually, right now, St. Joe and St. Francis boys teams are playing down over in East Chase Street. I think it was 30-29 St. Joe at halftime.
Good one. Good one. Good
You know,
one.
Actually, my parents live right down the street from St. Joe. Well, actually, you know where
Yeah,
they are.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
where
yeah.
they are right now. We need to get an Emerson St. You know, I'm gonna talk to Clatchy.
Okay.
And talk to Dan. So we got to get an Emerson St. Joe
Basketball game.
basketball game.
that-
I mean, it
that-
doesn't.
that-
It's crazy that
They right there.
literally a mile, less than a mile,
Less than a
probably.
mile.
Less than a mile, and,
We walked
and
to
they
a scrimmage.
haven't even played yet. You know, that's
That's and both of them have quality program. That's a game.
Right, yeah.
I definitely hit Darnell up and Darnell Dansler. Let's make that happen.
Let's
Chase
make
Street
it
for life.
happen. Pat Clatchy's calling you guys out, man. Let's make it happen. It'll be great not great for only West Side, but I mean
basketball.
Baltimore basketball.
I
Baltimore
totally agree.
basketball. I mean, these are two of the, blue bloods in the area. Let's put them together. But, kind of finishing the thought on boys basketball, St. Francis, St. Joe, in the city, Emerson looking like they're the team to beat. They knocked off City a couple of weeks ago. They have seen,
Quality.
best point guard in the city, maybe in little DJ Dansler.
DJ Dansler doing his thing.
Chase Foster. I caught their game against City. Chase Foster has a chance to be one of the special big men to come out
grown.
of this town.
He grown.
Really
He
grown.
grown. And he hands the ball well. He does a lot of things well.
Yeah,
he does a lot of things
He
well.
does.
'Cause I watched him play with Carver. With Carver, we lost to him early in the year, but I'm looking for exciting basketball.
Yeah, and I can't forget my alma mater.
Yeah,
Can't forget my alma mater. They got some talent back over there.
My man, Coach Parker, they're at Curly right now. We playing Curly right now. So it was a big game, a good game. Mr. Lim, talk to us, Lim. Where we at with the wrestling scene? What we want to talk about?
So, I want to let y'all know that, Dunbar has, a great basketball legacy, obviously a great football legacy. But what you may not know is their wrestling legacy is
awesome,
off the chain.
Awesome.
They had a guy named Jordan. Jordan, what was his last name? Jordan. Pryor. He just was among the most dominant heavyweights that I've seen. Doug McClain was his coach. Took Dunbar to the promised land. He won 3 state championships. 2 at 215 pounds, I think, 1 at 215 and 2 at heavyweight.
Wow.
Doug McClain is now at St. Francis. I just wrote about them. I write for a website called Legacy Wrestling. Free website, no paywall, all wrestling, all the time.
I love it.
Doug just came off of a tournament that they won in Pennsylvania. And he has 3 brothers on the team. The team is great. They placed 4th in the states, private school states last year.
Okay.
They just came back from this tournament. They did lose in a quad meet to St. Joe and Spalding, which are 2 of the higher ranked teams, and they're in the top 6 in the state. St. Francis.
Wow.
Might as well call them Dunbar
Doing more
and
than
St. Francis.
doing more than just football and basketball over there.
But look, so they had this one kid that he came from Montgomery County, 5th in the state in the Montgomery County states.
Okay.
But the way he's wrestling now, he beat the defending state champion from Mount St. Joe.
Wow.
And I texted you the story.
Okay.
Just
I'm
now.
gonna pull it up.
So,
Okay.
Dunbar has a legacy in everything. And,
You heard that?
yeah.
Not
yeah.
Patterson.
And by the way, you heard, Dante mention that his son did wrestle.
We got to give my guy T.R. Wren some love. He just passed
listen.
away
The great
this
one.
summer.
Go.
So give me a brief synopsis, real quick, on T.R. Wren, on Coach Roger Wren.
Okay, so Roger Wren I've known for quite a while. I actually went to the University of Maryland where they honored him, and all the greats were there. I have on my phone, and I'll show it to you after this, him talking to Bob Malloy, who was a great football coach at Springbrook and also at Good Counsel. The people that were there, and Derek can chime in on this, the people that were there, it was just a plethora of just stars in the sport. I will say that I love the rivalry that they had with that Patterson had with Edmondson.
Awesome.
Back
Some
in
great
the day.
games.
Awesome.
But yes, Roger Wren, he left a legacy. He ended up. He started out at he was at Patterson for a long time, and then he ended up at Poly. And thank you so much for mentioning him. I'm sure Derek has.
Yeah, and the thing with
comments about
Roger, I used to tease him because when I started writing for The Sun, he was, of course, entrenched at Patterson, and I always would tease him. I was like, Roger, you got that sexy Tom Selleck mustache. I don't know if people remember Roger Wren when he was at Patterson. He had the Tom Selleck mustache.
Yeah, that's back when football was, I think to me, was at its best. I remember when Coach Pete, Patterson week was always a different week at Emerson. Always a different week. Coach Pete, his intensity was on a whole nother level. But like one thing we always talk about, them two battle out of respect and love, regardless of what. Every time they got on that field, they let it all hang out, but it was always out of respect. And I think that's major. That's one thing me and Say always talk about. We got to get back to in Baltimore City. Got to be more respect in the coaching.
One thing, since you talked about that, obviously, he just passed, and then Pete passed. Ben Eaton passed. I remember we were working. Derek and I were working at Digital Sports, and I was sitting at the desk, and Bob Wade called me. and told me that Ben Eaton had passed. And that year, y'all had not played because he had a legacy with Edmonton as well. And Dunbar and Edmonton had not played yet. So we came up with
The Benny, yep.
the
Ben Eaton
Ben
Memorial Trophy.
Eaton Trophy
That was awesome.
that year.
That was
And
awesome.
like you said about the level of play, both teams stepped it up every game that year. And as I understand it, they still have that.
Yep. Yep, they still got it going on right now.
trophy still.
So
yeah.
when the legacy men pass away, Augie Weibel, Ben Eaton, Pete Pompey,
Roger
Wren, I always feel a tremendous sense of loss.
Yes.
Because they were teachers.
The gatekeepers.
And you're carrying that on.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You hold the coaches accountable. We know what happened when the Freddie Gray riot, unrest happened. You went on Facebook and you called the coaches and you came from Delaware to Baltimore.
My guy was with me.
You're one of those guys that is creating this foundation and sustaining this foundation. I just talked to Christian, when I stepped off of here, and he's a police officer. He said, "What did you say, Christian? What did you say to me? You said I went to Edmonton because of what? Because of this man right here." So
Man,
I ain't letting you off the hook. I ain't gonna get up here and not talk about you.
Blessing. But hey, we are excited about this show. It was awesome. To have y'all two up here, to have my baby up here, and to be beside my guy. Hey, meet me in the trenches. We're gonna continue to give y'all good quality shows, informational shows, and uplift. Let's talk real quick before we wrap up. We're gonna let Sid talk with this. Sid, what's your thoughts about today's game? I think the blue team is up a little bit right now.
Yeah, we up. You know what it is. We're gonna get this win. Let's get this win and get it over with.
What's your prediction? 7-0 right now. What's your prediction, Sid?
I say 28-10 us.
28-10. 28 us.
Yeah, us.
Derek, what's your thoughts?
I just think it's going to be a great game. I mean, these are two evenly matched teams. Maybe a little lean to Michigan because of Blake Corum, because he played at St. Francis, and he's really, my interactions with him has always been positive. He's a great young man, great family,
young man. I agree.
And I'll lean a little Michigan. Teeny Michigan.
Two for Michigan.
But I like Michael Penix, though. Boy, that's a bad man.
That's a bad man. Lim, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna make it 3.
3 Michigan.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go anti. I'm a Tyrone Jones this one. I'm gonna go with Washington. I'm gonna go with Washington on this one. I'm gonna go with Washington on this one right here. So hey, we thank y'all for tuning in. We look forward to y'all coming back out next week. Meet you in the trenches. We're gonna keep bringing you that
trenches, baby.
Meet you in the trenches. Hey, shout out to everybody who showed up. We got my Dunbar family in here. We got my sister and her crew. My mom up here.
Wait a minute, hold up. We got Carver principal. We got Carver principal.
Miss Somerville, brother Spence.
Somerville from
got
Carver.
former players up in here. Man, listen, God is good. We're gonna keep grinding. We're gonna keep pushing, and we see y'all real soon. On the spot. On the spot. We're going to put my boss lady on the spot.
On the spot, Miss Somerville.
Let me skedaddle over here. First of all, I'd like to thank my boss ladies for coming out. Hey, when you talk about great principles, this is one of them. I've been blessed to have quite a few, but she supports her young people. She supports our sport, and she grinds. She grinds hard for our school. So, Ms. Somerville, just say a few words about, let's come and say, I know we put you on the spot. That's the whole point is, you on the spot. Talk to us.
So first of all, I'd like to say I was really surprised to see Christian over here when I was the AP over at Edmonton. He was one of my 2012 babies, so it was really nice to see him. So even though he tricked me, he had his glasses on, and he put his hand out. I was like, hey, I'm Sean, nice to meet you, because he said hi to me. And then I sat down, and he was like, do you even know who I am? He took his glasses off, and I'm like, boy, they always do that to me. I'm glad to have Tay back in Baltimore. You know, we worked together back at Edmonton. We actually grew up across the street from each other, so I have known Tay since Bond Street, and he's a great athletic director. He supports our students, supports our coaches. Like, he's actually the best athletic director I've had since I've been at Carver, so good to have him back, tag team back again. I was AP at Edmondson, he was the AD over at Edmondson, so we're back together again, and he kind of made me come over here tonight because he texted me last night, and I was like, oh, that's really far. I live on the other side of town, but our basketball team was playing curly today, so I was already over here, so I was like, you know what?
Right.
Let me go ahead and go over here and support Coach Tay because I'm on this side of town. We got the W over at Curly, varsity did.
Hey, we got pressure privilege.
We thank everybody for coming out.
Let's get Miss TR from Pressure Privilege.
Oh,
Moved up here from. She moved up here from. Where was you at? Get that mic, huh?
Richmond.
Yeah, come on over here.
Don't run nowhere. Don't run nowhere. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right, hi guys, my name is Tiara Imani. I'm a sports photographer. I just relocated to the DMV from Richmond, Virginia, and my business brand is Pressure Privilege.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. All right, anybody else put in a spot? We good?
On the spot.
On the spot.
You ain't never safe.
She'll put you on the spot. Hey, we got I gotta shout out my guy. Anthony Wiggins is probably the most winningest quarterback in Baltimore City history. You know, let's be real.
There he is, right there.
National championship in rec ball and 2 state championships in football. One of the great ones. One of the great ones. Even though I still slap him sometimes. But we just thank everybody for coming out, and we look forward to y'all continuing on this ground with us. Send us out, send us out with something
Welcome back. That's my New Year's.
Good night, Gabe Kaplan.
Hey, next week, well, in 2 weeks, we got Meet Us in the Trenches in 2 more weeks. And we look forward to it.
Lord top we got coming, Coaches' Wives. Coaches' Wives. And we got because people got to understand, like, we do a lot of the hard work, but you got women behind us that really, really puts on for us and pushes us and sacrifices a lot. So we're going to talk to that part about it. So we're glad to be able to wrap it up, and we see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And we got sponsors, and we out.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.